Hey everyone, this is Collector Dude. I'm back with part 6 of the George Perez book. It's The Art of George Perez. I did this book a couple of years ago and I stopped. I had a whole bunch of other stuff I was doing, so I'm behind on this one, so I want to catch up. This will be part 6, just showing you the artwork and showing you just through this awesome book of one of the greatest comic book artists to ever live. Everything. And R.I.P. George Perez, awesome man. I met him a few times, just awesome every time I met him. But look at the artwork on this one. This is very cool. Wow, look at the detail. See all the detail in that? When I was drawing all the time, I was trying to emulate this because I loved how he did stuff. The way he laid out a page and just did all of his artwork. And this one says it's from Sword Quest number 1, the back cover, pencils 1982. Let's see what it says here. Every artist benefits from a reduced workload. Even Jack Kirby, as prolific as he was, did better work once he stepped back to 2 books, Fantastic Four and Thor. You can see the incredible jump that he made when he was able to spend more time on a page than he had before. Give us enough time and every artist can do a better job. Wow. And you see all the detail in this. So we'll go to the next page here. Look at the rocks. Everybody, look at this creature here. And the stairs. Wow. Just the way he drew that. Look at this. Very nice. Awesome. This is Sword Quest number 2. The back cover, pencils for 1982. Just awesome. Wow. Okay, that's the 2 pages there. Let me go to the next page here. Now, what's this one? This is very cool. This says Sword Quest number 3, back cover, pencils, 1982. Man, oh man, look at all the detail on the rocks and everything. The jewels, the medallions, the belt. Look at the leaves, the tapestries and stuff like that, the sword, the rope. See the gauntlets and everything in the sword. Wow. Back up a little bit, let you see that. The ceiling, the rock, and the walls. Awesome. Now we got Sword Quest number 4, back cover pencils from 1982. Little gremlins, goblins, demons, whatever you want to call them. Wow. It says 1991 or 1981 there. And George's signature. little grass. The rocks on the grass and everything. Man. Look at all the leaves. Very nice. Let's go to the next one and see what they got going on here. Okay. Here's some reading there. Well, this is from Sword Quest number 2, page 2, inked by Dick Giordano, 1982. And this one, Sword Quest number 2, page 14, inked by Dick Giordano, 1982. Wow. All the detail. And then when you were asked probably you're going to ink George Perez. Oh, really? Oh my gosh. It's like, wow. All the detail and everything in it. Let's see what he says here. Between my early work at Marvel and DC, and my Titans work, I had to learn the difference between detail and clutter. Suddenly, my detail served a purpose. I would do amateurish things at the beginning of my career, even in the first year of Titans, in which I would do extra detail because I was looking at the pencil page as the finished page. I had to learn how to lighten up a little. I was drawing way too dark, adding way too much, making it harder for the inker and the letterer to work. In those 4-color days, I wasn't allowing the details to complement the color. Learning how to work with the colorist rather than working at odds with the colorist is important, even in the early days of compact color, a computer color, I mean. I would put a lot of detail in, and then the colorist would add a heavy tint or some other color on top of all that fine line work, and it would blur the detail. Any artistic tool is wonderful, but it has to be handled by an artist, not by technicians, not by people who don't understand what color can add to storytelling and what bad coloring can take away from it. So yeah, I remember him talking about like putting so much detail in so he could hide that his anatomy and different things weren't perfect. But like I said, he learned how he did so much detail, and I'm sure I remember drawing myself, and your just hand just cramping up because all the detail. And you look at this, wow. Here's another page over here. This is from Sword Quest number 2, page 37, inked by Dick Giordano. Oh man, somebody's caught him. A lizard's caught him underwater or something. Look at that detail. He says, "Oh no." Some kind of gigantic reptile. It must have been lying in wait beneath the fountain floor. It's got my leg, pulling me down. Glump. Wow, the detail. Look at all the water and everything, the bubbles and everything. Awesome. Okay. Now we're going over here. Justice League of America covers inked by Mike DiCarlo, Dick Giordano, George Perez, 1981 to 1983. Very cool. The final showdown between the Secret Society of Supervillains and the Justice League of America. This is it. That's cool. That just about says it all, it says. And we got another cover over here. Ultra is back. Oh, he just punched Superman. Look at the wheel. The roulette wheel. Wow. And here we go here. Battle Royale. All the cards and everything. Another cover. Hector Hammond is out to destroy the JLA. And the only one who can stop him is Professor Martin Steen. Professor Martin Steen? Okay. Wow. I mean, look at all the detail. Man. This is Justice League. It's number 213. Just beautiful. Follow the world's greatest heroes into the microcosmos. Red Tornado, wow. And so this is, okay, this one over here will be Justice League number 202. Inked by George Perez in 1982. Man. Let's see what this says down here. A writer can spend a good amount of time creating nuance and deft characterization, but if he doesn't let the artist be a storyteller, the story doesn't work. Same with an inker who is heavy and overbearing with the inking. A letterer also has to understand that moving the word balloon a certain way can benefit the art and the storytelling. I think that every step of the way, everyone has to be totally conscious of the fact that when a person picks up the comic, all these disciplines have to work together to create a single creative experience. They can't work against each other. Yeah, I've seen that before. I've seen that like on a lot of Scott McDaniel comic books and everything. They incorporate the indicia and all the names of the artist and the title in the artwork, where it doesn't take away from it. Like he'll draw like a bridge or something like that, and he'll have something along the bridge or anything. But this is done really well. See, this is, if you want to know these titles, this is number 197 of Justice League of America. This one's number 201. That one's number 204. Very beautiful. This one's number 205. Here's 212. And 213. I love to be to get all of those. Just beautiful. And this one's number 202. Look sharp, everyone. The Batman must be here someplace. See, George Perez signature down there in 1981. Wow, look at all the detail. Great Hera. I think we found him. At least what's left of him. Man, look at the atom down there. Beautiful. You see, this looks like the original artwork. I wonder what somebody paid for that. Somebody has to own this. Wow. You see, like, I like to see a book. You can see the line right there where they stuck the title there. I like to see a large book with him. There's something that I ordered, a Todd McFarlane book, but I like to see a George Perez book with an artist edition of a lot of his JLA work and some of the other stuff he did with the Avengers. It'd be beautiful. Well, here we go with Marvel Fanfare, number 10. I've been looking for this cover for a while, out in the wild. Cover inked by George Perez, 1984. Black Widow. Designing became instinctive as far as lettering. I was complimented very early on that I knew that I had to allow space for the word balloons. I made mistakes from time to time, having characters flying where the word balloon should be placed. I've done that before in my artwork and had the writer tell me, hey, you got to change this around. Or they had to work around it. But for the most part, I knew the story flow and knew how to design the art to leave enough room for the words and to leave the space in the proper place artistically. I learned quickly how to compose a panel and an age to leave room for word balloons and the detail. See, I learned quickly how to compose a panel and an age to leave room for the word balloons and the detail. So that's obviously, I think, and then page, I'm sure. A panel and page. That's weird. I learned quickly how to compose a panel and an age to leave room for the word balloons and the detail. I'm sure that means page. Just beautiful, though. Okay, here's another page over here. This is from Marvel Fanfare number 12, page 3, inked by Al Milgrom, 1984. Ouch. Black Widow kicking him in the face, in the jaw. Beautiful detail. Okay, here's Marvel Fanfare number 11. Look at the detail in that. Cover inked by Bob Layton, 1984. Here's number 12. Wow. Marvel Fanfare number 12. Cover inked by George Perez, 1984. Look at all the water. And the rocks and the bricks and everything. Wow. Look at this wall here. Okay. I had to avoid producing dead art that would be covered up by the word balloons and would never be seen. It's not like today where the art can be done corner to corner and the lettering is done by computer file, and that can be overlaid in production, leaving pristine artwork for the penciler and inker to sell after the book is published. See, that's what I wondered about too. Like, who gets those pages? Who gets these pages? We sold them? Like, who owns these? And they share them, or they split them up, and then sell them on their own. Wow. This one's really cool. First issue, Americomics. Starring The Shade. Americomics number 1, cover inked by George Perez, 1983. That is cool. Now we have Thunder Agents. Wow. Number 1, Wally Wood's Thunder Agents. Very cool. Look at the muscles and everything. And the cape. I'm sure Todd McFarlane took from that. Like I said, when you see the masters, how they draw, how they write or ink or anything like that, you take things from them and add them to your own just to make your own little thing. Or, I mean, if you don't like their artwork, you wouldn't take from them. But the capes are cool. Okay, this is Thunder Agents #1, cover inked by George Perez, 1984. Wow. This is Mentor. Okay, Thunder Agents #2, pen up, inked by George Perez, 1984. The Raven. That is cool. Wow. Thunder Agents #1, page 1, inked by George Perez, 1984. That is cool. Let's see what he says down here. One of the creative perks in working from a plot is that sometimes when the artist and writer are working simpatico, the artist will deliver to the writer something different than what was intended, but it tells the story in a new, different way. I've done that before with writers I've worked with. They say, oh yeah, I never thought about doing it that way. That was really cool. Giving the writer a challenge as well. A good writer can use that to give the page atmosphere to advance the story. It allows both the writer and the artist to do something more than they would have done individually. If the artist is allowed to add a new approach to add his flourishes, it's a much better work. It opens up a totally different method of storytelling. That is beautiful. And we got more Thunder Agents here. This is Thunder Agents #3, cover inked by George Perez. So cool. 1985. Then we have Thunder Agents #4, inked by George Perez, 1986. Wow. Let's just look at the detail there. Look at that. All the strings and everything, everybody's just hanging there on her arm, that metal arm. Then we have here, it took a few issues for us to get to the point in Teen Titans. Get to that point in Teen Titans. In the early issues, it was Marv's baby, and I was coming in. Editor Lynn Wine was involved in the early issues as well. In fact, the fact that I wasn't sure of the project kept me a little more at arm's length as well. It wasn't until the characters started having real personal lives, which I treasured and loved to illustrate, that I flourished. Okay, I became both artist and co-plotter, and I was deeply involved in the creative trenches as Marv was. Marv, generous man that he was, saw to it, when the royalty system began, that I got a percentage of his plotting pay and royalties to acknowledge that I was an equal partner in the storytelling. That's cool. I didn't ask Marv for that. He said, this book would not be the same without you being involved to the degree that you are. You inspire me. I inspire you. And it has to be a collaborative effort. That's cool. It wouldn't be the same, and the credits and the royalties have to reflect that. That's cool. Now we got Thunder Agents #2, cover inked by George Perez, 1984. Wow, that's powerful. Man, I remember these books early, years ago when they came out. Make sure I don't bend the pages. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is beautiful. First star-spanning collector's issue, #1, Star Trek. That is so cool. The cover, Star Trek #1, cover inked by George Perez, 1984. Wow. Now we got Star Trek #2, cover inked by George Perez, 1984. That is cool. Then we have #3, Star Trek #3, inked by George Perez, 1984. Would you look at that? My goodness. Wow. That is so cool. Let me see what he says here. The fan reaction and the sales of the book were definitely incredibly inspiring, and that motivated me to try even harder. Really, even harder. It was the beautiful stuff that he did. Even negative comments would inspire me to address them. One of the things that happened later on, at the tail end of the new Teen Titans, was that I began to coast. Because I had become such a major artist there, and the Titans book was selling so well, I didn't need to get better because people didn't need me to get better. They were very satisfied. Wow. The book was too successful for me, he says. So I had to make a decision to resign from the new Teen Titans. I made sure that I announced my resignation at a convention on a public panel with Marv sitting next to me, because I didn't want to encourage any rumors that we were having creative difficulties. The whole reason I left was that nothing was motivating me to get better. Unless I can find a new challenge, I start resorting to old tricks, simplifying my work to meet a deadline. Wow. And I quit improving. Oh, cool. So that's what happened with that. Man, that's cool though. I understand him. Okay, what's this? Crisis on Infinite Earths number 3, page 5. I like to see some of this artwork in person as well. This is cool. Inked by Dick Giordano, 1986. Man, oh man. Just beautiful. Now we got this one over here. Crisis on Infinite Earths number 3, page 15. Inked by Dick Giordano, Mike DiCarlo, 1986. And this is the cover here. This is a page here. Let me zoom in closer for you so you can see that. Look how much, look at, like he said, he crunched everything together, and the letterer had to put everything at the top there, but it's just beautiful though. Wow. And now this is the cover here. Okay, this is Crisis on Infinite Earths number 4, cover, inked by George Perez, 1986. He did a lot of the inking, man. That's beautiful. Okay, let's see what this one says. I walked into Crisis on Infinite Earths through the back door. I wasn't initially the person in line for that book because I was so busy with the Titans. But the second I heard of the concept, I said, if that doesn't have my fingerprints all over it before I ever touch the page, I don't know what does. Yeah, he's right. I don't know who else would have put in all that extra stuff that I wanted to bring to the book. Wow. That is cool. The moment I told DC that I wanted it, it was mine. They knew I would kill myself on that book, but as happened with the Titans, I was artistically persnickety. That's funny. Wanting to put in every detail. That by the third or fourth issue, I had to go to detailed layouts because I couldn't fully render all the details without suffering deadline problems. Certain details were filled in by the inker, first Dick Giordano, then Mike DiCarlo, and finally Jerry Ordway, who came in and really did an outstanding job. Jerry, being a fine artist in his own right, was able to add beautiful shadow work in addition to what I had already put in. Wow. Now that's cool. I love stuff like that when you find out what they were thinking, the process that they were thinking when they were doing these stories. And these stories are epic. Man. Okay, now we got Crisis on Infinite Earths number 3, cover inked by George Perez, 1986. This is cool. Man, I like to find out who does this. And one book I'd like to have, like I said, the artist editions, I'd love to have Crisis on Infinite Earths, the whole book, like 11 by 17 or bigger, with just the detail all in black and white and everything. And if he commented on it before he passed away, I'd love to see what he said and have that put there, plus other people talking about what they did. That would be so cool. Look at the detail on this. There's just a black and white detail. The inks. And George inked it. the Titans, the Legion, the Outsiders, and more. Wow. Now this is an awesome page here, like what Batgirl was going through here. And to see this page this huge just in this book is nice. Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 4, page 2, inked by Mike DiCarlo, 1986. This is when Batgirl was having a hard time trying to figure out, how can I be powerful like she is? She just jumps into action. He said, I'm just a human. Batgirl, you called me? The city, it's so empty. Mostly everyone is staying inside with their loved ones, awaiting the end. I think this time it's really coming. Man, oh man. I know the feeling, and you're right. Hardly anyone's outside, not even criminals. At her face. But there must be a way to stop whatever's out there. I'm not ready to give in so easily. Supergirl, Linda, I've faced death so often because I never truly believed I would die, but now I feel so useless, so helpless, so worthless, and so very, very scared. Wow. Everyone is, Barbara. I've spoken to Superman and the Titans. They say Flash may have died. Wow. Look, just that panel there. Wow. And other heroes, some villains too, have disappeared. I'm scared too, but I can't let that stop me from doing what I have to. Easy for you to say, look at your powers. I'm nothing. I don't think I was ever cut out for playing hero. Wow. Barbara, there are thousands of people out there without powers like mine. The police, firemen, soldiers. They're all ordinary people trying their best to keep this world from falling apart before it's time. Uh-oh. There's a small plane north of the city. It's falling apart. That's cool. She had a moment there of mortality, just thinking about, hey, wait a minute, I don't know if I can do this anymore. That's cool. Okay, now we got the Flash. Awesome cover. I'd like to have that one too. I hope they do a book of this. I'm not sure if they're going to do one, but just a whole book of George Perez artwork on Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths. Okay, this was Crisis on Infinite Earths number 8, inked by George Perez, 1986. And this one right here, Crisis on Infinite Earths number 7, page 39, Detail, inked by George Giordano, 1986. This is when he lost Supergirl. Wow. You see the pain there. Okay, let's see what this says. I've been asked if I felt artistic pressure with Crisis. After all, we were pretty much visually reinventing an entire universe. In this case, ironically, most of the stuff we did involved tearing down, not building up. That would come after Crisis. It was a great final reunion with a lot of characters I thought I would not be seeing again. It was a chance to draw characters I never thought I'd get to draw. Sergeant Rock, Dolphin, the Atomic Knights. This was my chance. I was getting to draw characters that I had read when I was a kid, and it was the ultimate fanboy dream. It's the one thing that every fan with an interest in drawing has imagined, to be able to draw all these characters in a great story that means something. And Marv made it mean something. Wow. At its time, it was the ultimate cosmic crossover fantasy. I am so thankful that Crisis is still considered the benchmark. I know that at the time, it was important, and it felt important. We knew we were making history, changing things in ways that no one had ever been able to do before. And a lot of it lasted. Supergirl remained dead for a while. Flash remained dead for a while. Wow. Okay, now we got this page over here. This is Crisis on Infinite Earths number 7, page 38. That is so cool. I like the colors on this. This was pretty wild. I remember this. By the stars. Let me see. They're locked in combat. He is killing her. I have to help you. No, go now. You turn and battle, girl. That is a fatal mistake. Whoa. That'd be a different voice. That is a fatal mistake. Oh no. Oh, he blasted her there. Thoom. Kara! Wow. My body is destroyed. I cannot remain here. I need time to heal. It is not over yet. It is not yet over. I shall stand triumphant at the dawn of time. Great Hera, what happened in there? Man. I remember she turned and he took advantage of that. Boom. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Let me know what you think. I hope I can do this right. Let me know if you want me to read more, if you want me to read the pages, or if you just want me to be quiet. But I'll do this. I'll read these so you can read. It's like you're reading a book. But thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think. You guys have a great day, and Collector Dude is out.